nice.
I only went to like one weekly because the weather's been terrible and I didn't get on stream there. But I have a
Ah, darn.
bunch of stuff that I want to talk about.
Yep, I'm
Uh,
down. My weeklies have all been dead. Times are tough. We had like 3 weeklies like go on hiatus all at the same time, and so
Damn,
now we just have no weekly. Except I have one local tonight, so it's been a while, but
cool. So also like just I've been trying to focus on like a very consistent um, timed practice routine so that I
mm-hmm.
don't get like caught up over grinding one thing or like wait sort of like wasting time and like neglecting other stuff. So
Yep,
I've been
that makes sense.
doing like 3 minutes just wave dashing, five
Hmm.
minutes just hitting like late aerial L cancels,
Yep.
another 5 minutes just getting like basic pillar combos and just focusing on that execution.
Right.
Um, then I do that. I've been using the exercise in Uncle Punch in doing shine only, so running shine when it's on the ground,
Hmm.
then platform waveland, shine wavelands, and also been trying to work in shield drop shine like instant waveland because that's not
Nice, nice.
stuff I have in my fingers yet.
Right.
Um, but that all that I'm getting like significantly faster, and I think I do it till like I do 150. I hit 150 of them or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
this is similar to how Leffen talked about practice. I don't know if you ever saw, he posted like a little thing a while back, and he was like, it was very much so like a big list of things, and it was similar to what you're describing here.
okay,
So,
I haven't seen that. And then I do the attack on shield thing for like 5 minutes and just get
hmm.
uh, make sure my low aerial shines work when it's mashing shield grab and then doing shine grab, uh, aerial shine grab laser.
Yep, I think that event is my favorite one, and sometimes I just even make it so that they don't do anything out of shield, but I get to test out like
Mm-hmm.
just like how frame positive all my arrows are in various different ways, and then like so you can just do like late nair or half late nair or and stuff like that, and to see like what it looks like, um, and you
And
just get to do them over and over again that way. So
that's I also like have been doing on some days ledge dashing, some days not.
right, right.
That's one thing I want to talk about a little bit later is Falco ledge dash mechanics. I've hit like this ceiling in terms of
Hmm.
Galint. I don't know what really a good goal is for consistency and what I should be aiming for. And there's
Okay.
some like mechanics things where it's like, oh, there's a very specific muscle memory
Yeah.
that like is sort of associated with the 15, like getting the 15, or at
Right.
least getting the whole like the numbers weighting on the cliff weight plus my Galint to equal 15.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but that's not. I can do it rarely in practice, but it's not like what my muscle memory is for. And so I'm trying to wonder like, do I try and pursue that like really nuanced? Like a very slight back away and
Hmm. I see.
instant double jump, and then I guess I delay the waveland a little bit, but it's it feels like it's all one motion, whereas like I learned it as feeling it like back then in.
Yeah.
Um,
So when I first learned ledge dashing, I learned it with back and then in, how you described. And I almost always jumped late because if I like, because I learned ledge dashing before all the Uncle Punch stuff,
mhm,
and what I found is that like I just learned to do it until I could do it without hearing the air dodge sound, and it was like pretty clean. And
mhm.
like back then, I didn't know exactly how much Galint I had, and then I went back to like test it, and turns out that I was getting about like 9 Galint every time, and it was because I was jumping late like every single time. Like I would
Because
drop for 2 frames and then jump or something.
yeah,
Uh,
that's almost certainly what I'm doing. Because like my Galint
yeah.
always adds up to 10.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
That's generally what happens. So the TLDR of what's happening is either you're like jumping 2 frames late and that forces you to air dodge 1 frame later or something like that.
I think I'm
Um,
like scared of the getting the momentum from double jump from holding back.
right. Because if you jump backwards, it's not only momentum, but it's a different jump animation. Like he backflip double
Hmm.
jumps, and if you backflip double jump, then you have to air dodge a frame later. Like it's just like quite a bit worse to like waveland perfectly on. So what I do now is I have two different methods of ledge dashing. If I ledge dash with back, I'm aiming for that nine-ish galint, like maybe 10, but like I'm probably getting like 9 or 10 or something. Um, and then I learned the new method, which is to drop with slight down forward, and that's ideally the goal there is to drop with down but not fast fall, so that I have like a two-frame window to double jump. And when I do it with down forward, then I can be aiming for the 13 galint like muscle memory basically. And when I do it this way, it's like a because it's like a different motion in my hands of like either dropping with back or dropping with forward, I can aim for like the 9 gallant or the 13 gallant like separately. And I'm
Okay.
generally more consistent with the 9 gallant method, like dropping with back. But if I feel like I need the 13 gallant, then I'll go for like the slide down forward one. And generally when I practice, I'll like kind of try both a little bit. I think optimally you just do the drop it down forward. I've just heard that described as like more optimal. But I know Leffen drops with back, and he's pretty nuts at it. So
So there's like a very specific motion because like I can't go anywhere near the. I've also heard that. So do you do like full back or very slight back?
I think I do full back when I do back. Yeah, I think I do full back.
Because like the two executions that I have are incredibly slight back, and when
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah.
do that like very fast, it feels like I'm only moving the stick in.
Right, I see what
It's
you're saying.
it's
Yeah.
it's almost like there's a pressure that I can put on the stick and then have it feel like it's only moving in one direction, but when I
Yep.
put my finger on it, it moves it a little bit to let go. And
Yeah.
that one is like when like I've gotten like 15, 10 in a
Right.
row
Okay.
and then never hit it again for a month.
Yeah, yeah. I do think it's a little like scary to go for that 15 one. Just because like well first of all I think 15 is a little overrated like generally speaking because like I don't even think ledge dash short hop nair is very good like as an option because like even if fully intangible it still loses to like shield or like a spaced back air right outside of range of the invincibility and stuff like that, so it's like it's not even like it's like a catch all anyways, like it still loses pretty hard to certain things. um and it's not like that high reward, right? Like hitting them with a nair is not as good as hitting them with a shine. And if you're doing ledge dash shine, you don't need 13. Like 9 is plenty. Even ledge dash jump shine, 9 is enough.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I kind of just tend to aim for 9 and like try to make a judgment call between whether they're going to be in range for a ledge dash shine or out of range, and then I try not to challenge them if they're out of range. Like I'll try to ledge dash back or dash dance or something. So
Fox gets like 11 with the same muscle memory, right?
yeah, I think so. So
Right.
Fox, the my favorite ledge dash option with Fox that Falco doesn't really get is to just ledge dash and then dash to center because he just runs so fast that you can just like fly past them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with Falco, I think you kind of have to play more conservatively of either like ledge dash and hit him or like sometimes you can just ledge dash back and then like turn around and shoot a laser or something, right? You get a laser out or something. If they're playing outside of range of your ledge dash, you might be able to just ledge hop double laser or single laser and stuff like that. So I think it's a little overrated to really kill yourself to try to get the 13. And I don't mean kill yourself like in game. I just
Right.
mean to like over practice ledge dashing to try to get the 13 or 14, 15 or whatever. Because like in my experience, it's just like quite a bit riskier for not a lot more reward.
Have you talked to IBDW about this? Because I remember him tweeting about apparently his method was messed up by Arduinos.
Um,
Is that slight
Right.
back?
Yes, it is slight back because Arduino's so the way UCF works is it specifically takes the action state of standing still and makes it a two-frame window to dash back. The way Arduino's work is they just make it so that slight dash back gets ignored
For
a
like a
lot of the
frame,
times.
right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if you
Okay.
try to slide dash back, it might just ignore that input, and yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
doesn't work.
spooky. So so if that's my whole thing, because my controller does not do the down forward ledge dash from
Yeah, so I
one
I think
direction.
mine actually doesn't either, but I literally do slight down forward. Like I've had controllers that I've played with that you can just literally go to down forward and it works. But with mine, I like slight press down and then slight press down forward. I don't even reach the gate and then I input the ledge dash. Um and like that's like probably less why I feel like it's less consistent, right? Is because like I can't just like slam my controls stick to a certain spot. Um but it means that I can kind of do it with any controller because like I'll just have to relearn it for whatever controller I'm using, but then I
Mm-hmm.
eventually learn like what does slight press it to drop down with this controller feel like. Um, and sometimes I'll just like pause and like just practice dropping down from the ledge over and over again without fast falling while pressing slight down. And I just do that like 30 times. And then I'll just do that and then input Falcon's wave dash right afterwards, and then that's the same thing, right? Like that's kind
Okay.
of like how I think of it or something. Like because like your ledge dash timing is kind of like Falcon's wave dash, and then if you do the one frame later, then it's just Falco's wave dash. So it's like I just kind of like try to separate those inputs in my head of like the wave dash input and then the slight down input, and then that's the whole ledge dash.
The this actually sort of leads into a different question in terms of like return on things I've been like just trying to practice.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of things I've experienced just like in sort of net play with my boyfriend and like net play with randoms. My punish game just over the past week and a half of doing this uh,
Hmm.
has gotten like embarrassingly better.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah. Like how did I not do this before? Like
and like I just feel really stupid for doing it. But one thing
yeah.
I've tried like really to get in my hands and get the timing is like getting good wave dash shine reversals out of shield.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting like Fox up smash.
Yep. That's a pretty tough one, but
Um,
important.
it's like very easy if I am like shield tilt and then shield DIN
Hmm.
and then like I feel like I have like oh I can do any wave dash whatsoever.
Right.
Um, but just needing to get like not only does the wave dash have to be not necessarily frame perfect, but like a one or two frame wave dash, getting the timing on the hits done, and then also getting the angle right.
Yep.
I spent like I want to say a half hour just because I was getting it so rarely or like
Yep.
so randomly that it was frustrating me, and so I
This
just
was
like
like
tried.
the Uncle Punch
Yeah.
like reversal thing. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, like, is that if I'm getting such huge returns from like way simpler practice, is that something like I do need to eventually grind someday? But like,
I think that this is one that you should add to your routine of grinding like 3 to 5 minutes a day. The reason is I think that Uncle Punch, like shine out of shield or wave dash shining and up smash is I think harder on Uncle Punch than it is versus humans a lot of times, just based on like uh the fact that like obviously if you're trying to do it to Leffen or something, like Leffen's gonna force you to have that perfect execution,
oh,
but
because
a
it's
lot
all
of
totally
foxes don't.
random, and you actually have to
Uh
react.
Kind of. I think it's just that like the Uncle Punch computer like literally becomes invincible the frame that they're actionable, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so like sometimes I fight foxes and I like don't quite react perfectly and then I just wave dash and then I shine, but they tried to like up smash and then up smash again. So they just gave me an extra 8 frames to shine them, right? Because it's just slow.
Yeah.
Um or they try to like up smash and then they just shield and then I get to just wave dash shine grab and then I get him every time anyways, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like
Right.
on one hand, like Uncle Punch is forcing you to get like to a very high standard for yourself to be like get the real punish on the up smash, right? So it's worth practicing, but it's worth noting that like you're not gonna have to do it that good every single time in a real match. But it is really important because like Fox's up smash, Sheik's down smash, Peach's down smash, like all of these things are things that like come up pretty often, and it's like a really big difference if you can wave dash shine consistently. So
So.
I'd say worry more about making sure you can get a wave dash shine every time and then
Mm-hmm.
like over time, if you just do it 3 to 5 minutes a day, you will just get more and more consistent at getting it. But it's
Are
like not too important to get 100% the
are
punish.
the ones that you were talking about have similar advantage? Because like doing it on Marth F Smash is like I can do that
Yeah,
all
so
day.
Marth F Smash, like it also depends. Like if it tippers, I just don't think you can do it at all, right?
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's like minus
yeah, so
19 or something like annoying like
yeah,
where it's
and you're
just
just
on the
like out
edge.
of range, like you're just so far. So sometimes I just like first Marth, I tend to just wave dash grab, and then it's like he'll probably shield it, or I'll just like get there. So it kind of depends on the spacing too, but like yeah, I think just getting more and more comfortable with like how fast you are at it and stuff, and then like eventually you just get more and more accurate. So
Okay, so it's it's one of those things where I'm just a little bit worried about doing it for like a small amount of time because it's so inconsistent on hitting. Like I haven't even learned the timings, so
yeah,
like
if
I
you
feel like there's a level where it's just like you wind up practicing nothing.
I don't think so. I think like 3 to 5 minutes is like really underrated for most things because it's just like your brain kind of internalizes the muscle memory like even like while you sleep and stuff. So it's more important to do it a little bit every day than it is to do it a long time for one day or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in my experience, like even doing 3 to 5 minutes and then it'll be really inconsistent. Then you tried it the next day and then you're just like a little more consistent. And you're like, I don't really know what I changed, but taking a day off has somehow just made me better at it or something like
Yeah,
that.
one thing I
Uh,
was trying to do was just rather than trying wave dash, just get the timing on the shield stun, just short hop, because
Yep,
like
yep.
I'm already practicing wave dashing somewhere else, and then like wave dash shine is I'm gonna be doing that in a lot of other places, but
Do
just
you
to
wave dash out of shield with two buttons, with two triggers?
yes.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Because I've heard that like a common problem with people who wave dash with one trigger is they end up like unshielding for a couple frames and then jumping, and then they just lose 2 frames every time. But if you're doing like you're holding L and then you wave dash with R, that's not a problem. So
Yeah, no, my I generally don't. I generally get pretty close to perfect wave dashes.
okay, yep, yep,
In terms of just like the frames, I
yep.
almost never get 2 or 3 frame wave dashes like when I'm
Right,
in
right.
practice.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually didn't even mean that. I meant like if you try to wave dash out of shield with one trigger, so like you're holding L and then you let go of L and then you hit it again to wave dash. Um, it's common for people to like let go of L before they hit jump, and so like their character actually lets go of shield for a couple frames and then they jump and wave dash. So they're wasting a couple frames before they even start the wave dash.
there's a way to get a full shield that's analog input only, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about that too, where you like almost press it all the way. But I mean, if you're using two triggers, it's not worth
Oh,
talking about it. Yeah.
um, I was just wondering if that was actually a thing or if you always get some extra shield stun for
Yeah,
just
no, I
like
believe that the almost click is in fact a full shield. So,
okay.
except
Um,
on mine is modded so that the almost click is like a light shield. So I have like raised triggers. So.
oh yeah, yeah, I have cut springs and
Oh, okay. Yep.
uh, so let's see. We talked about ledge dashing. Um, so in terms of like just that one specific thing, trying to just using short hop instead of wave dash probably sounds like an okay method just to
hmm
practice the first part of it.
Yeah, so a couple other ways, a couple other things to think about. One is that you can practice like get up smash and then just hold up on the on the C stick. And that'll buffer the full or the jump out of the shield stun. And that'll kind of like sometimes give you a visual for exactly when it is you can jump frame perfectly or something. Like I wouldn't recommend wave dashing by holding up on the C stick,
Yeah.
but just to like see the timing a couple like do up on the C stick a couple times and then jump with your like button a couple times and see like are you jumping out of shield at different timings when you do it that way? And can you like replicate it pretty close and be like, oh, that's what it looks like, and this is what it feels like to be 2 frames late or something like per Uncle Punch. And then the
Well,
last suggestion I
are you
have
playing
is
on the Uncle Punch that has the text boxes?
yeah. So I think you can have one that's just like act out a shield stun, right, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Act that shield. It's green when you're 1 frame, and
Right,
it.
exactly, yeah. So if you like during any point during shield stun, if you hold up on the C stick, you'll always get the green one, right?
Mhm.
So that'll just give you a visual for what the green one like okay, like I can like you do it, you hold up, and you're like, okay, that's what it looks like, and then you do it and you try to replicate it with jump, and you're like, oh, this is 1 frame later than what I just saw. Like to me, that's been a little helpful just to like
Okay.
be able to cleanly see it.
Is there any
Um,
good way to practice that with like an aerial, or is that just going in and setting up save states?
uh, I think in the Uncle Punch event, you can have the CPU attack with an aerial. Like if you pause and hit left and right on the D-pad, there's like CPU attack, and then you can pick what attack they use, right?
Maybe on the shield drop one. Um, the
Let me see.
the the reversal one is only smash attacks.
Hmm. I just opened it up, and mine does have it. I think I have CPU attack. I have Nair, Dare, F tilt, D tilt, U tilt, random smash attack, forward smash, down smash, up smash. So
Really? What
yeah.
version do you have?
Uh oh shit, I just closed it. Let me open it up. It should say on like the event page, right? Uh
Yeah.
it does not. Oh, version 1.1. So it's the older
Okay.
one.
So yeah, I have the older one too. I have 1.1. Maybe I'm
Okay,
just dumb.
yeah. But yeah, and then the last thing I would say is that that might be worth setting up save states sometimes because like um if you go frame by frame, there's like a couple visual cues that can be helpful to see, like where your shield like disappears and then reappears the first frame you can act or something.
Mhm.
And so like sometimes just like visually looking at it frame by frame and then like just do it a couple times and then watch your save state or like watch your recording of you doing it and then like being like, okay, I was 2 frames late and I can see my shield came back up and then I waited 2 frames and then I jumped or something. And so for me, like being really specific with where I'm messing up has been really helpful. So
Okay. Yeah,
same
that
with ledge dashing where like I'll replay my ledge dash and then I'll be like, oh, I held the ledge for 1 frame and then I dropped for 1 extra frame and then or something like that. So
that's been. I feel like the reason like my practice this past week and a half has been really effective because I've had like just I've looked at enough of my vods enough. It's just like, oh wow, it's this dumb stuff
right, right.
that like the same stuff comes up enough that like even if I practiced it before, it's like now it's for real. I've
Yep,
seen.
yep. It's
I,
so much easier when you know how to practice and you know how to get specific with what you're targeting.
and then one thing that I messaged you about the dash out of laser.
Right,
Um,
right. Yep.
that has like sped up my play so much that
Yeah.
like I'm almost turning into like a slideshow because I'm getting to places I haven't seen before.
Yep, yep. That makes sense.
Um, and like I don't know, I don't have a better word for it, but what Ginger talks about like action sequencing like every video, and it doesn't
Yep,
sound like
yep.
it means a whole lot, but my Falco has kind of turned into a slideshow
Right.
where I'm just like getting into these new positions and uh, it's gotten choppy.
Mm. Wait, I don't quite. So you're saying that like you'll do one thing really clean, but then get stuck on the next thing? Is that kind of?
I'm making like probably the same amount of tech skill errors,
Yeah.
but I'm now just like 1 to 2. Or let's say I make them as frequently, but that's because
Mm-hmm.
I'm 2 steps further down like the combo tree,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
or
So I actually do. Go
I
ahead.
like just oh was I like dash wave dash under this like chic nair that I didn't mean to necessarily.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like moving forward a little bit too fast. It's getting me more hits off of stuff, especially just like instantly laser grab got a lot better and like
Yep.
laser aerial got a lot better.
Yeah, I think what you'll find too is that the interactions that you're like winning or losing now are more true because a lot of times, like when you analyze lower level players or something and then you watch their VOD and they do an option that loses to something, like they'll try to laser grab, but they'll get shield grabbed. And it's like, that's actually not worth analyzing because laser grab should just beat shield grab. So the only thing you did wrong was misexecute your laser grab, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like hard to properly analyze situations when you're acting 4 frames late out of every single laser. But now you're getting to a point where you're acting properly out of the lasers. And so like the interactions that you're experiencing now are like the real interactions. And the ones you had before were kind of like fake interactions, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I totally
So
get that.
yeah.
The oh man, I just had a question. That sort of smoothness, because like I think I'll get that when I start grinding um, locals again and start trying to like up my net play versus just solo practice and try and really cook this stuff in.
Yep.
But I feel like there's this process of like grinding and then it's like a seesawing like
Yeah, I
oh
think you have to get the individual stuff. It's kind of like practicing specifically the like wave dash shine out of shield versus fox up smash, and then you get into a real game, and like that's not how the real game plays out, right? Like eventually that situation will come up, but like having practiced that a bunch does not immediately make you better and faster and like able to whiff punish everything Fox does, right? Like that's a specific thing that
yeah
you're
yeah
practicing. So while you practice like the individual steps and stuff, and then eventually you go back and then put them all together in order to like move smoothly, and I actually do like the phrase action sequencing that Ginger uses. I call it, I tend to just say sequencing as well. And it's um, like for example, it's like how long can you continue to move smoothly and productively in neutral without eventually just like because like what's common for Falcos is they'll like do one or two smart options and then they'll like run out of things to do and then early approaching aerial or something, right? And so like making sure that you can string a bunch of good options together that way and then like keep it productive and like meaningful or something can be really.
I actually just watched I was waiting for some stuff to export at my job so I brought up PP Mango at Skater 3
Hmm.
and that's one thing I noticed a lot when PP plays on Dreamland versus Mango's Fox. He's sometimes moving not really with intention and covering like really low percent stuff, but it's keeping him moving into
Right.
like he's moving like all over every area of the screen, not super fast, but he's putting lasers in places that are cost him nothing and are like a 1 out of 8 shot,
Yep,
but is
yep.
also keeping him moving and mixing up like left, right, up, down, and like what platforms he was going to. It was
Yeah.
the ability to just like not worry about which of the three safe things that are on your table and just do
Right.
one of them and go from like no risk to no risk without ever thinking about it.
Yeah.
Um, and then picking his spots from there.
Yeah,
Um,
I think PPMD is really good at like really productive sequences, which sometimes I think makes him look a little slower than someone like Mango. Is that Mango like um he's more worried about making sure that he's like fast and on his opponent's like head, right? Like threatening him the whole time, while PPMD is making sure that kind of every sequence is in like has some sort of thought behind it, has some
and
sort of like
that's one thing I noticed that was really it was 2014 playing like stuff is so much faster now,
yeah,
but pretty much anything I was going frame by frame. I think it was a 30 FPS, so I had to go in twos and sort of guess
right,
some
right.
of them. But it looked like everything that didn't involve dashback, in terms of like movement, action after like dashing out of auto cancels, and uh, everything I saw was like frame perfect in little scenarios, but it was in stuff that
Right.
like it was incredibly precise in ways that I didn't expect. I think maybe it was just I was really impressed by how precise
Yeah, I think it
Mango
makes sense
was.
too if you ever watch how PBMD practices, where he's literally doing like laser dash, laser dash, laser dash, laser dash, laser dash, laser dash, laser wave dash, laser wave dash, laser wave,
Mm-hmm.
and he just like does that over and over and over and over again. And then you watch him play, and those laser dashes are frame perfect and super clean and like well thought out. But he's not like spazzing out and flying all over the place and mixing in tomahawks, all like like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like his sequences that he does pick, he picks well and he does them well. So it's just like and one more thing about sequencing is I think PPMD is like the king of having sequences that are not only safe, like you described, and like productive, but leaves him a little bit of time to react, right? Like with the reaction points at like all the right places. So like if Mango ever does do something really unproductive, then he's ready to pounce on it every single time. So he's kind of like keeping himself safe, and then he's like, oh, Mango full hopped, and then he can like do something productive versus that, or he can just be like, oh, Mango whiffed an up smash, I'm gonna punish him right away and stuff because he's not locked out while doing like all the sequencing or something. So
One thing that was like interesting about that set in particular is that like PP, because like, I've seen other sets of PP versus like other foxes in that time, and like Armada would be probably the king of this mechanic at that time. But
yeah,
like he plays to beat crouch cancel when his opponent's going to crouch cancel. But like he just like I guess read that Mango was never ever going to try and like CC grab or CC shine
yeah. I
from
will
there.
say that crouch canceling did not really become huge until a little bit after that. So I think PPMD played around it less than we should.
Right.
um, but I do think that like you said, like if someone does start crouch canceling stuff, and like this can be seen that like PPMD did fight Peaches and Samus's, right? And those
Mm-hmm.
characters did crouch cancel back then, and he still would like play around it and stuff. So he knew like what to do. He just also knew that it wasn't super meta to just like be spamming holding down all the time. Um, but yeah, his like the way he used Nair a lot of the time was like really good because people weren't crouch canceling, and it's like hard to say how much of that could be replicated nowadays. But
Oh, I was just think it was funny because I thought it was one of those like Mango didn't do it. It was like an anti-Mango thing because I did he consider crouch canceling lame at that time or something?
oh yeah, yeah, possibly. I don't know. I think it just actually just wasn't super like it kind of was considered lame, but like it wasn't like until Drug Fox and Captain Face Roll started CC grabbing literally everything that every character started CC everything. Like CC grab wasn't even that common. Like Mewtwo King kind of did it, but that was kind of it and stuff. And then it wasn't until like I don't know, 2016,
Were there no Falcons
2017.
doing it?
Mm, not much. I think they just kind of yeah, I don't think they did it that much. Like CC grab just wasn't that common. So I remember like everyone like foxes used to combo these people by doing wave shine nair all the time and do it like wave shine nair, turn around up tilt, and then like kill them off of it. And then face roll would fight Lucky and he would get wave shine naired and he would CC grab the nair and then kill Lucky off of it. And this would happen like 6 stocks in a row where he just gets shine, gets naired, CC grabs him and then kills him. And then Lucky had to relearn how he combos because like he wasn't used to people just holding down at all times and mash and grab.
Actually, here's a question for you. When
Yeah.
let's say it's a Falco Ditto.
Yep.
Um, on like a high strong dare that's falling,
Yep.
let's say like from a full hop.
Yep.
Um, do you know? Can that be like CC shined?
Yeah, so do you know the difference between ASDI down mechanic and CC
Yes.
mechanic? Yeah, so down air cannot be ASDI downed at all, but it can be true CC'd, which just lowers the amount of hit stun it has. And at zero, down air is just not strong enough to actually combo into shine if it's done high.
But
So
what about like if it's low or mid? Will it be okay or?
I think if you're true crouching, he needs it's like a 1 or 2 frame leniency for how low the down air can be and still
Okay.
combo. So it's like really fucking low. And so like even like a really common start of the game interaction for me is like we'll both start on Yoshi's and I'll just like run off like on both side platforms. I'll just run off, go to the center and crouch, and they'll short hop down air from the side platform and hit me and I get the shine. And this happens all the time. So like
Okay.
yeah.
And also probably is that would you try and bait shield drop with that at all?
Yeah, yeah. So I'd say like 0 to 8 to 10ish is when like CC Shine is just like insane, which is
Okay.
part of why I don't know if we've talked about the Ditto, but like the way I play the Ditto is largely laser into running shine because laser running shine like doesn't have this issue. So
Okay.
yeah.
I watched your the podcast you have with Ginger on the Falco Ditto, and you talked about like the sort of meta you developed with Wes.
Right, yeah. So that was kind of different just because Wes is just like all top platformy, and so I don't really get to laser running shine him because I laser and then I have to read the full hop, and that's the whole game.
It made me think about like, oh, full hop on top platform, just like for a lot of characters, is really annoying.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, actually, the way I think about the Falco Ditto is that like if I get a laser, I do running shine, but if I take a laser, I now just full hop or I dash back or roll away because like I really like just doing like defensive things like that against Falco because it forces him to like I don't know, like I hate when Falcos like quote unquote get laser control and do like laser approaching, laser hit you. Like you should never be locked down that far, that long, especially in the Ditto because you can just like boing like full hop out like super far. So and then you can always just come back down with your own laser. So it's just like yeah.
Um, in the Ditto, do you use full hop or do you use double jump a lot?
Um, so the biggest times I use double jump is if ever I get hit by a laser when I'm in the air. In terms of like in neutral, like the instant double jump stuff, not that much. I'd much rather get my openings by like landing a laser and then going in off of that, and then sometimes trying to do some defensive reversal off of their lasers, like take laser turnaround up tilt or shine out a shield or something. Um, in terms of like doing the vertical game stuff, I think you're kind of just giving up time a lot of the times. Like if you do the instant double jump and the enemy Falco is like cognizant of that option, they can just time a high laser as you're coming down and you'll be in trouble. Like especially like on FD where like you don't have a platform to mix it up to. Um, and it's like if neither of you have shot a laser first, then like the instant double jump is just giving them time to get laser control. If you have your own laser, there's no reason to do it. And if they have a laser out, then yeah, maybe I'll double jump out, but I may as well just full hop out. Like I actually just want to disengage. I'm not really trying to
I feel
hit
like
him for
Mango
it.
spams it against Foxes and Marts.
Yeah, I do think it's better versus Fox and Marth. Because I think Fox and Marth are better at like because they're so much faster, they're better at threatening the first laser. And instant double jump is an option that like allows you to punish them for running in to try to hit your first laser, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So against Falco, like what I'm afraid of is him getting a laser out. I'm not necessarily afraid of him booking it to me and hitting me before I get have time to shoot a laser because he doesn't run that fast. So unless he's like already in my face, then maybe I have to do something. But like generally speaking, I have time to get that laser out, or he's gonna get a laser out, right? Like that's kind of like the game we're playing. But with Fox, it's like I might get a laser out, but he might running up smash me. And if he running up
Mm.
smashes and I instant double jump, I'll hard punish him and fall on him and kill him. So same with like Marth and dash attack. Like Marth might like dash dance and he'll like dash attack. And like, oh, I don't know if I have enough time to get this laser out. So I'll instant double jump. And if he dash attacks, I'll kill him. And if not, I can drift. I can land with a laser forward or backwards, down air, or go on a platform or something. So
Um, Now the in the Ditto, do you how often do you roll? Because it's one matchup that I find myself like trying to buffer stuff more
yeah, a lot.
often. Okay.
I think rolling's really good against Falco. Basically I think that like uh there's like a couple things that happen in the Falco Ditto a lot that I don't think should happen very much. Like aerials, I don't know, like Falco shouldn't really continue pressure on you almost ever because buffered roll is just so good and like has to be read. So if he's reading buffered roll, then like you could have rolled the other way and that would have worked, right? Like it's just like so a lot of times like rolling is almost a guaranteed way to get out of the pressure and it kind of forces them to like um not pressure so hard. Like they might like shine wave dash back and then continue the pressure some way, but now they're leaving a gap for you to
And
like
just like
get out or
wait for a
something.
roll in, or and then if you
Yeah.
see roll away, you approaching laser or something.
Right, exactly. And also like rolling before they get there can be really good. So if you get lasered and then they're going to come in with like so like laser approaching laser into late into shine or something or laser late aerial into shine. Well, roll in just dodges that. Like you'll cross paths as he gets there and now suddenly you're in center and he's in corner or something like that, right? And that what that does is it forces them to post laser not be that aggressive. So sometimes they'll laser run up wave dash back. And if you don't roll in that spot, now you've alleviated the pressure, you get your own laser out or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like rolling is a way to both alleviate pressure if they have laser control or if they're pressuring your shield directly. Like it forces them to. So like absolutely it can be red, and if you do it too predictably, then you're just making yourself unactionable and like with the risk of getting hit. But it forces them to play in a certain way, which is really beneficial in the long run, I think. So
How do you feel about roll versus Marth?
it's good only in that it like so I think spot dodge is like really good versus Marth,
Mm-hmm.
but so many Marths read spot dodge all the time that it makes roll pretty good. It's kind of how I think of it. So like you have to spot dodge a lot of times just because the risk of getting grabbed is like enormous. And like especially like on wake up or something, like it's the oldest habit in the book that people just wake up spot dodge and Marth just walks up, waits for the spot dodge, grabs you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in cases like that, it can be good to just roll instead of spot dodge because it still protects you from that immediate grab, which is a threat, right? Like there is a reason everyone wakes up spot dodge. It's because a lot of people just try to grab you right away, like on wake up, and they're just a little late or something. But it makes it much harder for Mark to just stand there, wait, and then get the guaranteed punish or something. Um, and other than that, I don't think it's like that good. Like in neutral, if you're in the corner or something, like I think Martha's like pretty oppressive in the corner, so it can be hard to like roll out because he's just like sitting at a huge range and threatening you. And if you roll in, he's like, "Well, I'm already here. Like my sword is just this long that I'm at this range." So it can be kind of scary. At low levels, it fucks Mars up because you'll just be swinging a lot and you'll just roll and then like they'll be mid fair and you'll be in them and then you just get to roll shine and kill them or something. But that's not like a very good opening in terms of like
What about wave dash in? Is that like kind of
uh
the same thing?
No, I think wave dash in is more threatening. It's like less reactable and more like uh like directly punishes them for waiting because wave dash in is the big thing is that it's not reactable. So if they're standing there and you try to roll shine, they can react, right? Like if they make the
Right.
decision, I'm going to stand here and try to react, and you roll, they will get you. But if they make the decision, I'm going to stand here and try to react, and you wave dash shine, you will hit them. Like they won't have time to react to the wave dash shine. So
And like I think one of the maybe like dash back it beats all because a lot it's my favorite like gap closer.
hmm
Because I feel like once I'm inside tipper range, if I'm like at an okay percent, like
hmm
I maybe not have advantage if they're on the ground, but uh, I feel like I have never gotten instantly grabbed in
yeah.
like for no one has ever grabbed me reading the timing of like roll in
hmm
or I mean wave dash in a
Right,
lot of
yeah,
the
no, I
time.
agree. Because even like I'll do like wave dash and shine, wave dash back, and if I whiff, like that's so hard to whiff punish a shine wave dash back, right? Like I came in with a threat and then immediately booked it out of there. And sometimes they do try to whiff punish that and they just completely miss the grab and I just wave dash back. So it's like not a lot of time for them to be able to punish like a wave dash and shine or something. So yeah, I like that option quite a bit. Um, yeah. I do think that his dash back is like because if he dashes back and you wave dash shine, it's just gonna be really hard for him to whiff punish you. So it's just like a pretty good option to try
Mm-hmm.
like contest everything else. Like
Um, so I have a. Let me send it here. If
Hmm.
we could, I think that's it. Yeah, this is my set versus the Falcon that farms me from
Oh, yep.
a few weeks ago.
I was wondering if we'd have an obscure pools match from 2015 or something.
uh, no, I have not been digging in the the weirder parts of vods.co or whatever it is.
Right. Current lesson on. Just posted a watch together link.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we're hopping into this.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, so I don't think we've really talked about Falcon in particular, right?
We have not.
Right, okay. So Uh, the most important thing I would say against Falcon is that high lasers are really good because Falcons are always trying to use their broken aerials to try to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which makes it that like the number one thing I try to do is to not lose because he's short hop naring over my lasers. And if that's not the reason I lose, then the interactions tend to make more sense because otherwise it's just like really weird, scrappy situations that like I laser, he nares, barely gets over it, I get clipped, I get and stuff like that. So um, other than that, it's like if Falcon's in the corner, I like to grab him. Forward throw at starting at like 40 to 50 is almost like a guaranteed kill on a Falcon off stage.
Really?
And
Okay. Yeah.
just it's like if you think about it, like if a Falcon has to double jump and it doesn't reach the ledge, right? Like he's screwed. Like he has to up B and you just have down air. So it's just like really
Right.
hard for him to. So a lot of Falcons panic and try to go above it. So like if you have him cornered, forward throw is going to kill him. Falcon like starting at 40 to 50. Um, other than that, shine is the big thing that you want, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
in center stage and stuff. You're looking for openings with like shine. And because his out of shield game is kind of weak, like a lot of times they're just going to end up like rolling. So a lot of your pressure ends up catching rolls where you get like behind him and stuff and then scout out the roll. As long as you're not getting stomped out of shield. Um, and if they do stomp out of shield a lot, then you can do weird pressure just like aerial to aerial or aerial to up tilt a lot. And
D-
as long as you're not doing aerial to shine, you're not going to get stomped out of shield. So
will stomp? Will that like contort out of the way of shine?
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
that's the most common way that Falcos get fucked up while trying to shield pressure Falcon is that they do aerial shine. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think like even late aerial is like kind of risky sometimes. Um, actually probably not, right? Now if it's a late aerial and you're like -0, -2, like the shine should be fine. But if it's not like that late, like if you try to do like a mid-height aerial and then shine, like you might just get stomped over the shine and then you're screwed. So
Um, do you ever aerial?
yeah, yeah, especially behind him. So like if ever I get an aerial and I can get behind him, then aerial is really good because it catches stomp out of shield. And like I said, most of the time my shield pressure is like either I'm looking for stomp out of shield or I'm like standing on top of him or dash dancing on top of him looking for roll and like trying to just like
Mm-hmm.
react to the roll with short hop down there in that direction.
Okay.
So if I'm looking for the roll, sometimes I'm susceptible to stomp out of shield because I'm like just dash dancing on top of him and if he just stomps like it might be hard to react. But sometimes you get to move in a way that like gets you out of range of the stomp anyways and stuff, so it's not like too bad. Um, but yeah, so kind of like looking for shield pressure and like those. That's what I'm thinking of with shield pressure, right? Like I'm looking for shield pressure and then I'm looking to catch a roll or catch a stomp, or I'm looking to get him in the corner and grab him, and that's kind of like how I think of Falcon.
Okay.
So yep. So let's see what we got.
Yeah, we're hopping into this. We got Gibbs, we got Future Shock,
Hmm.
Falcon. I mean, yeah.
I think you're getting a little caught on the platforms
What
there.
against?
This is, I don't know if it's like execution or game plan, but this
Yeah,
is
we're
Ginger
hopping into
loves to talk
this.
about the
We
start
got
of the
Gibbs,
match,
we
right?
got Future
And you
Shock,
started with a short hop. I don't know if you tried to drop
Falcon.
through.
I
Yeah,
did.
we're
I
hopping
tried to
into
fast
Oh,
this.
pass
okay.
it.
We got Gibbs,
Okay,
we
then
got
yeah. Just
what against going on? They're hopping right into this.
this is one of the matchups where full hopping is like least advised, where it's just like Falcon's up air is probably even better than Marth's up air at just contesting Falco above you because he gets to like run horizontally really fast too. So
Which honestly,
you almost always just want to be on the ground.
I cheese a lot off no text and mistext like that.
Ooh, that dash stack. I think if it was a running shine, is just a huge punish.
Mm-hmm. I wanted the running shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is content to just, you know, try to.
Which I think kind of shows that like all the stuff that you're practicing right now is like that's exactly what would avoid like the few interactions that we've seen so far, where it's been like,
Said a naughty
oh, if you're
word
just
like
like a
that.
little cleaner on the drop through, or if you're just a
Mhm.
little cleaner on the running shine, and it's like that's exactly what you're practicing right now to make sure that you have like those sequences tight. So
I'm surprised that laser missed.
yes, let's yes, that's exactly the situation I was talking about before, where you shot a low laser. I think this is like a problem too, where it's just like I remember I used to be good against Falcon, and then I hella practiced my execution on low lasers, and then I got worse versus Falcon.
Okay.
And then I realized that you just have to consciously shoot the high lasers, and it's not like mid-height lasers. Like I've
It's
heard
high.
rumors of like the mid-height laser that like can hit both Nair and dash forward or something, and like maybe can hit Falcon's side B, which is like the other thing. Like Falcon sometimes mix up side B to get under high lasers or something.
Side B is gross.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the side B too much. I just say shoot the high laser, and if they're spamming side B, figure out a different way to beat them. You know, like it's like not
Okay.
gonna be like if I'm fighting someone who's spamming side B, I'll eventually shield it and then get a full punish out of shield or something. You know, like I don't
Mhm.
care too much about that, or be out of range of it, or just down air and clean beat it or something, right? Like I'm not too worried about lasering the side.
You can hold
So I
down to
just
like a crazy percent, right?
right, yeah, exactly. So I don't know, because we have one Falcon down here, and like he's not power ranked or anything, but he's like pretty decent, and he's like one of my friends, and he like side Bs a lot, and it's almost become a meme now, and like I'm just so aware that that's something that he does. So I'll shoot like two high lasers, and then I'll just like dash dance. He'll side B, I'll shield on reaction, because
Mm-hmm.
like shield is a frame one option that beats side B, right? So
Right.
like Mars always complained that it's pretty hard for Mars to react to side B, because like side B actually just whiff punishes a lot of Mars shit, but
Mm-hmm.
like Mars still has shield. He still has a frame one option that beats side B, right? So it's like all you have to do is not commit to something, and then you can always react to side B.
Right.
And I mean, it's honestly not that common. So it's much more common for this to happen where you get nared like over the laser. So it's like that. This is like the number one thing I'm most afraid of in the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now one more thing is that this is something Drug Fox has talked about with Wizrobe apparently, where Wizrobe classifies space animals as people who can be nair grabbed at 0 and people who can't. Where the
Okay.
people who can't are just like apparently it was just like it was like two people. It was like Drug Fox and like Swedish Delight or something. And this is like pretty universal to Falcon. Like it's not even a Falco thing. Um, but basically, if you hold down and away and buffer spot dodge, you're not going to get nair grabbed. But it's like kind of hard to react. Like right here, you shot a laser and he jumped over it. Like you would have had to know and then like hold down and away down on the C stick and shield, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like kind of tricky. And if you don't hold down and away, then you can't buffer spot dodge. So you have to both get the DI and
In that scenario, could I have SDI'd up?
I don't think so. I think you just fall to the ground no matter what, and then he gets to grab you. So. Yeah, second hit nair is just like pretty strong. So I'd say priority one here is make sure your lasers avoid the situation in the first place because it's like really hard to react. But knowing that you could have gotten out of here, I think helps me mentally to be like, oh, there's something. I had some counterplay here, right?
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't really know about that at all.
Yeah. And then here's a side B.
Yep.
So, but you'll note that he caught you out of the laser startup. It's not that he went under a laser, right? So
Yeah.
this is pretty common too, where it's like if you're getting side beat here, that just means you tried to laser in a time when you didn't have time to laser, and
Mm-hmm.
like Nair also would have fucked you up here, right? Like he had time to
Yeah.
dash short hop Nair, so it's not really like the side beat that got you here. This is just like
Not
you
getting the
reset to
right range.
neutral, yeah. And so if you look at it too, like you tech rolled and then stood there and then tried to dash turn around laser. So you either have to realize that you just have to fight here, right? So you can like back air or like run up to him and shield or something like that, like do
Mm-hmm.
some sort of scrappy like close range option, or fucking like dash all the way away and turn around laser. Like
Yeah.
if you're getting that first laser out, like you can prioritize getting it out really safely or something like that.
What I
So
want to see
I feel
from
like
Gibbs,
Falcon in
how
that position
does he
could almost
force
hit me
the
for
issue?
like
How
dash
does he
way,
make
dash
How
back.
does he make Alex
yeah,
scared?
exactly. It's actually kind of scary against Falcon to run away from him ever
feel
with
like
any
this-
character
this-
because he's just like will overshoot things on accident sometimes, where
Right.
he's just like trying to nair in place, but instead he flies across the entire stage or something. Like so, or like sometimes they do that with knee and they like catch a dash back and they're just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to knee you in place, like
It's like I was wave
so.
dashing away, so I was already holding
if,
away,
if
and now.
future
Right,
with,
yeah. So
you know,
I do think that like
if
my
Alex
gut
gets
instinct here, like
What I
when you
wanna
got
see
hit
from
out of
Gibbs,
that
how-
laser over here, is that you in fact should have just fought him like over here, like
Mm-hmm.
if you just like on wake up run at him or run up shield or run up shine or back her in place, like all of those are pretty hard for Falcon to just like cleanly hit you out of.
Like,
So
What I
Okay.
want to see from Gibbs is how
Yeah.
does he force the issue? How does he make Alex scared of him?
Yeah, I feel
Ooh, that
Like
was
like
a good
this
edge
this
guy.
is this is rough. I mean,
This is
I
the
feel like
guy that
if
wins
Future
this
if
little
you
local.
know he gets
Yeah,
if
that makes
Alex
sense.
gets a hit, then he can kind of
So
like
there's another
if
nair grab.
Future
Let's see
if
exactly how he got it.
you know he gets if Alex gets a
Okay,
hit,
so
then he
you
can
kind of
kind of
fucked up the
like take
execution on the
Yep.
laser, I
if
think, is all that
Future
happened.
if
I will
you
say
know
I
he gets if
kind of
Alex
don't
gets a
think it's
hit, then
very
he can
good
kind of
to
like
spam lasers versus people on the ledge. It's like it's not like the worst until certain levels, but the big thing I don't like about it is that ledge dash power shield is like free because the laser
Right.
can be in
Okay.
you at any time. Yeah. So like if you have like 5 frames of Gallant, which is like not even a good ledge dash,
Hmm.
then power shielding is easy because like at any point when the laser's inside of you, you just hit the shield button and it'll power shield.
Will,
Sometimes even behind you.
will it ever like go the other way, or will it always?
It'll always go back to you. So even if it's like the last frame of the laser, like it's fully past him, it'll power shield and it looks really wonky because the laser turns around from behind him and then goes through him again and hits you.
Okay.
So yeah, so ledge
Um.
dash power shield is like really free, but like it's not that common, so it's kind of okay to spam lasers anyways, as long as you're like far enough away and spamming him fast enough to where he can't just ledge dash.
How good is Falcon's ledge dash?
I think it's like 9, 8 or 9
Oh,
glint
so
or
that's pretty
something.
decent.
Perfect. Yeah, so it's good enough to where ledge dash power shield should be free. Now he didn't do it, he just like got to you
like
anyways,
take it
which is
really
the other risk.
far.
Like you're
it's
not threatening that much
You
with this.
know he
And
gets if Alex gets a
in
hit,
my
then he
head,
can
like Falcons are either gonna like nair most Falcons just nair from the ledge. If you're at all close and like threatening anything, they're gonna try to nair from the ledge. And so most of the time I just try to like either read the roll after the nair or grab them because I'm gonna read the shield after the nair. Most of the time they do nair shield or nair roll. That's like the most
Okay.
common. So I like to just like stand right out of range of the nair and then try to react with grab or read the roll.
kind of like
You're
take
standing
it
far
really
enough
far.
away here
If
to where like you
you
would be
know
safe if you
he
were
gets
spamming
if
lasers.
Alex gets
Like
a
if that
hit, then
laser
he
had
can
come
kind
out,
of
you
like
wouldn't have
Yeah.
take
gotten
it
there,
really far.
right?
If
But you're not directly threatening a kill here, where it's
Hmm.
just like now he's not quite at 50, but a forward throw here I think still has a chance of killing him, right? Like in the corner. So I'd
Yeah.
like it's just like if you read the jump properly, or if you grab the ledge as he gets there and then you get the down air, like it's there's just always a chance that forward throw kills like Falcon at this really most characters, but like definitely
Okay.
Falcon. So in my head, like the lasers are like okay, and it's like you're kind of giving yourself this risk reward where like if you fuck up one laser, you could lose a fucking stock, right? Like, and that's
Mm.
basically what's happening here, where it's
you
like
know he
you
gets
like
if
mess
Alex
up
gets a
one,
hit, then
like
he can
that
kind of
laser could
like
have been too
take it
low,
really
or it
far.
just didn't come out, or you
If
shot it a
you
little
know
slow,
he
and now you're
gets
getting
if
grabbed,
Alex
which
gets a hit, then
like
he
you
can
were only
kind of
threatening
like take it
3%,
really
like you weren't.
far.
it's the lasers.
So I was like kind
But I
of
mean,
yeah.
So
Oh,
shot
so
you
screen.
they're
can kind of like
Yeah.
take it
Spot
really
dodge, right?
far.
It's the
yeah.
lasers.
So first you spot
He
dodge, but
gets
let's look
if
at that
Alex
first
gets a
grab
hit,
here.
then he can kind
So
of like
first of all,
take it.
so you got an air grab here, and you
If
see how you had time to
you
get your
know
shield up.
he
Hmm.
gets if Alex gets a hit, then he
So
can
he's
So I can
kind
like,
of
buffer.
like take it really
yeah.
far.
So
It's the
maybe you could have
lasers.
buffered spot
You
dodge,
know
but
he
maybe you needed
gets if
slightly
Alex gets
different
a
DI.
hit,
But it
then
was
he
like,
can
yeah,
kind
I
of
think
like
you actually
take it
got the
really
DI here where
far.
buffered
It's
spot
the
dodge might have
lasers.
worked. So
But I mean,
kind of close, but
So
that first
you
grab
hit, then
too.
he can
Look
kind
how
of
long
like
you
take it
stand there
really far.
before you get
it's the
nared.
lasers. But I mean,
If Alex
So
gets
you
a
get
hit, then
nared,
he can kind of
grabbed,
like take it really
Okay.
far.
nared,
it's the
right?
lasers.
So just
But I
being
mean,
aware to
He
act
gets if
like
Alex gets
think
a hit, then
of
he
tech roll situations as something that you have to act frame perfectly out of. This is part of the reason why people buffer spot dodge out of tech situation so much is that it's like by far the easiest thing to do frame perfectly because you just hold down a button.
Hmm.
And also why I said that roll is pretty good in these spots because like it's really common for Falcons to stomp the spot dodge here, right? Or in this case,
kind
he
of like
nairs it.
take it really
Like he
far.
basically he
it's the
waited for the spot
lasers.
dodge
You
timing and
know
nared
he
you.
gets if Alex gets a
Um,
hit, then he can
it's like
kind of
kind of
like
what
take
happened
it
here.
really
I guess he
far.
just
It's
whiffed a
the
grab and
lasers.
then nared.
But I
But
mean,
still, this is like a
If
common like
Alex gets a
timing.
hit, then he
So
can
if you
kind
had
of
rolled
like
away
take it
here, like
really
you would have gotten
far.
away,
it's the
or
lasers.
if you were just
But I
ready
mean,
to act frame
If
perfectly
Alex
out of
gets a
the
hit, then he can
tech
kind
Probably
of
roll
could have
like
here.
take
bared,
it
right?
really far.
Yep, you
it's
could
the
have buried for
lasers.
sure.
But I
So.
mean,
Although this is
You
another
know
one
he
where
can
if
kind
you
of
had
like
tried to
take it
laser
really
like you did the
far.
other time, you just would have gotten caught again, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So you have to have the cognizance that like, okay, this is not a spot where I have enough time to laser, but I have to do something and like I either have to cover myself and fight close range up, or I have to get the fuck out of there with like full roll away or full dash turnaround laser or something, which like
Okay.
maybe could have worked. But I think in these spots you kind of just want to scrap with Falcon. Like Falcon's hitboxes are huge, and it's really hard for Falcon to work around just like AC bear, and like up
Hmm.
tilts and stuff.
it's the
It's not like
lasers.
box.
But I mean,
Right, right. And
So
then here
shot
he read the
really.
spot
like
dodge. So
take
this
it
is
really
exactly what we were
far.
talking
It's
about.
the
Where
lasers. But I
so the
mean,
Nair stomp, I
If
think. Let's
a
see,
hit, then
was
you can
that
kind of
real?
like take it really far.
Nair
it's the lasers.
stomp. Yeah.
But I
So
mean,
you didn't tech here. Like you're
Alex
low
gets a
enough
hit,
percent
then
to
you
where
can
the
kind
Nair
of
Yeah, I
like
doesn't
could have
knock you
take it
shielded.
down.
really far.
it's the
I
lasers.
think you could have
But I
shielded,
mean,
yeah. And then the next
good
one he
shot.
just
You can
reads the
kind of
spot
like
dodge.
take
Because
it
like I
So a
really
should
lot
be
of
able
his,
far.
It's the
to have
lasers.
4 frames of
But I
landing
mean,
like that, right?
So
yeah,
shot.
exactly.
then you can kind of like take it really far.
It's
One,
the
two, yeah. So
lasers.
yeah, you
But I
definitely could have
mean,
shielded, I think. And then
So
the next
then
one,
you
like
can
this
kind of like
stomp,
take
obviously
it
knocks you
really
down.
far.
it's the lasers. But I
But
mean,
you get the tech, and then you spot
So
dodge on a
shot
wake up.
really.
So
take
one
it really
like the
far.
easiest fix to this spot dodge on wake up is to
Yeah.
roll on wake up, and then his read on the spot dodge here just doesn't work. Um,
far.
There's the
I
lasers,
think
but I
maybe,
mean,
yeah, like the best option here
shot
would have been on wake up to turn around up tilt. And like if you have the cognizance to do that option on wake up, you become like a lot harder to like just tech chase like on this like fake tech chase that he's doing where he's just reading the option afterwards.
Yeah.
Because if you like wake up turn around up tilt or wake up forward smash or wake up aerial at him sometimes, it's like those aggressive options really hard punish people who are just like waiting for the spot dodge.
Yeah, because
But
he doesn't. He's like, I've played like people that he beats
yeah.
who are also Falcon mains that have like a more rigorous punish game,
Hmm.
and they scare me a lot more because I know like he's gonna drop some stuff.
Yeah,
And
he's going for, I mean, it's like almost none-esque, right? Where he's going for the read every time and like
mhm.
going for like the high payoff option to like screw you over right away instead of like nickel and dime you up with like regrab and stuff. So, but what that means is that
really
there
just
is
trying
counterplay
to.
to the stuff he's doing
There's
for
the
sure, right?
lasers,
Like this was
but
like
I
three
mean,
or four fake follow-ups in a row.
Shock's
So,
really just trying to
but he's like outplaying you in
go to
the like
wedge,
scramble where
kind
you're
of
just like afraid and he knows
use
that you're
the
afraid until he
invincibility,
like reads you. So,
come on back,
So can we look at
take
that
those lasers,
edge guard situation again?
use the invincibility,
yeah,
So
where you're going up.
yeah,
go
I
to
get the
wedge,
weak there. 'Cause,
kind
like,
of
should I have
Mm,
refreshed
use the
instantly
invincibility,
and then
let's see.
gone for like a
go to
strong
wedge,
thing?
kind of
Um,
go to wedge, kind of
so I think what you should have done
use the
is
invincibility,
instantly ledge dashed as soon as you got
go to
back on
wedge,
stage.
kind of
Holding the ledge versus Falcon is a little overrated a lot of the times, and you actually cover more stuff by being on stage. In this case, he has to use his
use the
double jump and he can't
invincibility,
make it back, right? Like he went fucking far off
go to
stage,
wedge,
so he
kind
has
of
to use his up B. If you
use
were
the
on
invincibility,
stage, um,
go to wedge,
right
Probably could down
here,
kind of
smash him, right?
I think you can down air the top of his up B. Like you can
use
just
the
like sure hop off, double jump
Oh,
down air.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
go to wedge,
And so
kind of
that's going to be the most direct way to kill Falcon is to at any point when he up Bs, aim a down air at the peak of that up B, and that's going to be like the best thing. The second thing is to try to like cover every drift with forward smash or something, or do a strong back air. But his up
use
B
the
is like
invincibility,
just far enough here to where like there's a
go to
little bit
wedge,
of a mix up here.
kind
He
of
can go all the way on stage, or he can
use
pull
the
back and go to
invincibility,
ledge. So like maybe forward smash
go
doesn't
to
cover
wedge,
everything.
kind of
You probably could have gotten a
use the
bear timing out that like
invincibility,
guarantees the
come
edge
on,
guard continues. But at 42, I don't think you have a like a guarantee kill unless you down air the top of his up B.
Okay.
So yeah.
back, and take those lasers,
Ooh, there I think you could have down aired him. Just
come
like
on
post
back,
shine, you kind of like
take those
hesitated.
lasers,
So which
Yeah,
is funny
I
because this is actually a spot where you
come on
got a
back,
really clean
and take
shine
those
wave
lasers,
dash and then you stood there. So
well, I think what happened was I was almost positive I hit him on the backside, and so then he
ah
died in like the way I was like, oh, he's not where
come
he
on
needs to
back,
be.
and take those lasers,
oh yeah, wow, that is crazy.
Okay, good.
I remember thinking in that moment, I was like, oh, I wave dashed the wrong way, and I was like, wait, no, that's the right way.
Right, yeah, so you get the double.
Like stage.
which I mean, like, Gibbs is really improving, he's
Oof,
trying to,
brutal.
still learning the game like all of us here,
Okay, so his ledge game is actually pretty good. So I was saying that
still
like
learning
most
the game
Falcons
like
like
all of us here,
even in this spot, I would
which is why we
expect
go
most
to,
Falcons to nair from the ledge. Like you're close enough here to
still
where
learning
like
the
bad
game like
Falcons do
all
that
of
every
us here,
time.
which
But
is
he's
why we
doing
go
like hack
full
slash,
shadow
double
to
jump the
the
ledge and stuff, which is definitely pretty good.
Looks
So
all of us here,
it's gonna be a
which
little
is
more
why we go
complicated
full shadow
to
to
like
levels,
really corner pressure him hard when he's on the
all of us
ledge.
here,
Did I get
Um,
knocked?
which is why we
but
Oh
go
yeah.
full shadow to
Oh
levels,
no, I messed up my.
still learning the game
yeah,
like
you
all
messed
of
up
us
the.
here, which is why we go
Oh,
full
I see.
shadow to levels,
Yeah.
uh,
Ouch.
game like all of us here,
But yeah, so
which is
part of
why
the
we go
problem here is
full,
you went for a preemptive grab over here.
still learning the game
So I
like all
think
of
you're
us
just
here,
gonna want to like
which
stand
is
at
why
the
we go
inside of
full,
the side platform and then try to react to whatever it is he does. That might mean you're susceptible to like ledge dash grab. Like if he goes that YOLO and goes all the way up to you and hits you, then like
Mhm.
okay, he got you, right? Maybe in the future you stand there and then you down air in place when he comes up. But if he does something like this where he hack dashes and goes
shadow
to
to
side
levels,
platform and you're
still
just
learning
standing
the
there
game like all
reacting,
of us
you'll
here,
be able to
which
like
is
jump
why we
shine
go
him
full
maybe,
shadow
or
to
something like
levels,
that. And if he
which is
does
why we
anything
go
on stage, you might be
game
able to
like
run
all
up and
of us
grab him.
here,
It's
So,
funny. That's
which is why
something I
we go
do
full
a
shadow
lot
to levels,
versus Sheik,
Those
mm-hmm.
are pretty sick.
because I'm just
Yep.
like I don't want to be in ledge dash at tilt range,
that's unfortunate.
Right.
and I want to be able to
Gotta be
like,
careful against Falcon because he will.
maybe try and bear the move to a flat.
Yeah,
If
because
they try and go flat or something.
Right.
Stockman
Yeah.
is
So I think if you kind of, I guess it makes sense because like at the start you were like, well, how much Galint does Falcon has and stuff, and then it's like, well, not only does Falcon have enough, but he also has a really good refresh. He can hack stash or double jump refresh, and both of them are like pretty close to invincible. I mean, they
Mhm.
can be invincible, but they're frame perfect, you know. So it's like, eh. Um, So he can be invincible refreshing or have a pretty good ledge dash option. And so it's like kind of actually hard to contest Falcon at the ledge like super effectively, especially because Nair from the ledge is also just pretty good and fast. So I tend to just like not fuck too much around with it. If they're like refreshing over and over again, I might run off, try to bear him or something. But like in my experience, that's just kind of scary to do. So I kind of like just spacing outside of it. So
You would have been proud at the weekly I went to last week. I got
yeah,
Firebird stall and the Falco I was playing down smash through it. I was fully invincible and then wave
nice.
shined and killed him.
Oh, I love that. Dude, the feeling of being like you take the first stock, but you're at like 100, so it's like a very even game, you know? And then you ledge stall, and then they try to hit your ledge stall, and then you ledge dash chime, and then you're up 2 stocks now. Like, and you're just like, oh, brutal.
Yeah, it was a good feeling because he was really fucking me up for the rest of the set.
Yeah. Nice.
They don't have a soul, so
So
they're like, I'll
I do
just
think this is the
throw
best
my
counter pick. Let's watch like a
They
little
want
bit of
self
this.
on
I know we're like
stage.
running low on time, but I'm down.
Yeah, they have like literally.
Okay, so yeah, his
no,
follow-ups really do
off
like
stage, they
thrive
have
on
no-
you panicking. This
Yeah,
back
they
air to
have,
stomp
like,
is like not a real
literally
combo,
Yeah,
no,
right?
like I feel like
and now I'm
Yeah,
just
see how he
the
no
spot
tech?
dodge
That was a
upstairs,
free
man.
side B.
literally
Yeah.
no, like I feel like
Yeah, see
Wait,
how
so
yeah,
oh
they have
yeah,
like
so the spot dodge got
self
back aired,
off stage,
and
they
then
have
he
hurdle.
stomped as like
Yeah, they have like
yeah.
literally
So the
no,
back
like
air
I
was
feel like
fake and the
Yeah,
stomp was
they
fake,
want
you
hurdle.
know?
Yeah, okay.
yeah, they have like literally
So I
no,
think like
like I feel
just
like
I don't know. I don't know like what the best way to like train defense muscle memory is, but like some of it is just awareness. Like I think the spot dodge is awareness and stuff, but if you
Mhm.
just like switch to where every time you're like kind of panicking, just like hold roll in one direction or something, or just like getting hit and knowing like I'm gonna look to randomly forward smash in a direction or something like that, you know, like to try to like switch your defensive option, like your panic options to something else, that can be kind of hard to do because it's like panic options are like by definition subconscious, right? Like you're panicking at the time. But like I've eventually gotten to a point now where my like default panic option is like forward smash on wake up, and it's like people who don't play me always get forward smash, and then people who play me a lot, it's just another bad habit, right? Like they're just punishing the forward smash now instead of the spot touch. But eventually you want to be like pretty cognizant, like doing conscious options on wake up and stuff, right? So
I do a lot of like. It's very hard to tell for like I my forward smashes have like a really it, high success rate, and like
yeah,
I maybe it's because
I
I'm
love
like,
forward smash.
but like I have a very hard time of like, was that a stupid one, even though
Right.
it hit, or was it good because it hit? Because I don't remember. I just had like a sense that it was time.
Yeah. So I think that forward smash is underrated and that like so there's a few good things about forward smash. Number one is it's unreactable. It's actually fast enough, like frame 11 or something, so they can't react in shield ever. Um, Number two is that it's huge, so it's just like one of the bigger hitboxes, and if they trade with it, it's good for you because it's a strong move.
Mm-hmm.
Number three is that it's a grounded move, so you get to hold down during the entirety of the forward smash. So a lot of times you can like wake up forward smash, and if he tries to like running nair you, and he catches you at the startup with nair, like you can just hold down and shield or like hold down and shine right before the second hit or something, right? So like a lot of times forward smash is like not actually as risky as some other options because of the fact that you can hold down during it based on percents and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like for all those reasons, forward smash ends up being like kind of better risk reward. Even the dumb forward smashes are actually not that bad. And it's kind of like when face roll was first getting good, he was doing some of the dumbest grabs of all time, but he's always holding down during his grabs and he's always smashing like CC grab during his grab. So
Okay.
there's times when it's like he's like I don't really know like what was going on here, but he just has like such a robust defense and like like automatically covering a bunch of options without having to like think too much about neutral to where it's just like I mean he's just automatically going to beat players who just do something to get CC'd, right? So you don't have to think too much about it sometimes as long as you're doing like a high expected value option like this forward smash while holding down, you know, like it might just be okay to do. And like if you're playing someone who's hard reading it, then yeah, stop doing it, but don't worry too much. Like if you're doing something that works, just like, it's fine, you know? Like,
One thing I've noticed happening, and this made me just like think about roll differently, is like sometimes in like a soft pressure situation where I like am reading them moving in, I will do
yeah.
like a buffer roll that will become a spot dodge and become a F smash in some way,
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah.
the F smash hits and like
100% of the time. Yeah.
does it is it because like they're actually kind of reading on the same thing, or
Yeah.
is it like just totally random and people get hit by forward smash because it's a good move?
Yeah, I think it's like both. Like forward smash is actually just a good move. And like I used to joke that like I had a friend who would oftentimes like his opponents would live to like 180 or something. Like he's Falco, and he would just be down airing like people. They're like at 170, and he hits them with a down air. And I'm like, I feel like not only are you kind of like randomly doing moves sometimes, but the move you're doing is down air. If instead of down air, you just literally spammed forward smash repeatedly, these opponents would get hit by it, right? Like if you're gonna be spamming a move, make it a move you want to hit, right? Like you don't even want to hit a down air at this percent. So sometimes it's like down air or forward smash is good just because it's always something you want to hit, right? Like worst case scenario, it's like, or not worst case, but like if it ever hits, like it's just a really good move to hit. And
Mm-hmm.
then secondly, yeah, it's like unreactable. You get to hold down, and it like punishes people who are waiting and reacting. And so it's like it's very common for people on wake up to wait for spot dodge, wait for shine in place, wait for roll, and then if they're just waiting, forward smash is gonna hit them. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well, thanks for going over it, but
yep. So yeah, I don't know if we had like a I guess the big broad theme was kind of like we talked about like how to practice and stuff, and then probably the biggest things while watching this was just the like defense options because of like the fact that his follow-ups are like 3 or 4 reads in a row on
mm-hmm.
like your panic option, and then secondly is like the high laser stuff where it's just like well don't get laser or nared over the laser,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, but I think like more important than all of that is kind of like the cleaning up stuff, which is what you're already working on right now.
Yeah, and
So
again, this was
yeah,
before I had my
yeah, this
my
was a
cleaning
couple.
plan in full order.
Right, exactly. Like you said that this week you feel like you've made big strides, and this was more than a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, I had like a
yeah,
tight game. We did like a first to five, and it's like 8 ping net play with my ultimate competitive boyfriend,
right.
um, and like it went to game like 8 or something on Thursday,
Yeah.
and then like I've 5-0 5-1 him like on
Oof.
Saturday Sunday after really grinding that Uncle Punch the exercise thing, and it's like, oh, my combo game is now way better for
Yeah.
Shu, and because you
I
said specifically for Sheik that I need to challenge on the platforms more with
Yep.
Shine Waveland, and I've just been
Yep.
getting
Exactly.
lots of hits.
That's sick. Yeah, I think that it makes sense because there's like quite a lot of spots where like you were dropping combos where you like wave dash weren't quite sure or something. Um, so like your punish game is gonna get a lot better. But then there was also a couple other spots where you like hesitated and waited for a bit and then did something. So like all of those are gonna become like way better just from your execution practice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like I think theoretically like whenever we talk about a lot of the game plan stuff, it like clicks pretty well, but it's just that a lot of times that's not really what the deciding factor of the match is yet. So
Mm-hmm.
as you clean up some of this stuff and like probably in as little time as like probably like 1 month, suddenly you're gonna see that like okay now when I'm fighting Falcon, I really do get to focus on the high laser and the game plan stuff instead of just getting like red 4 times in a row with like for acting a little slow, or something like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.